Sometimes the most epic stories, the really incredible ones, they aren't in novels. They're actually hidden in plain sight, scattered across old documents and faded records. Today, we're going to piece together one of those stories, a journey that spans more than 80 years in the life of one American family, all built from the paper trail they left behind. So this whole story is really bookended by just two dates. It all kicks off in 1862, right in the middle of the Civil War, with the birth of John William Taylor. And it wraps up in 1946, just after the end of World War II, when his wife, Sarah Ellen, passed away. Just 2 points in time, but they mark the beginning and the end of a truly remarkable American life. But what about all that time in the middle? 84 years. The joys, the heartbreaks, the big moves, all the little milestones. Well, that's what we're here to do. We're going to fill in the human story that connects those two simple dates. Okay, so let's rewind, all the way back to the beginning. We're in the American Midwest, late 1800s, Gentry County, Missouri to be exact. It's a place of farms, of families, and it's right here that the story of John and Sarah really gets started. And what's so interesting is how similar their beginnings were. On one side, you've got John William Taylor. He was born in Iowa but grew up in Missouri as a farmer's son. And on the other, there's Sarah Ellen Stubbins, born right there in Missouri, also the daughter of a farmer. They basically came from the exact same world, a life totally grounded in the land. So their two paths officially became one on a pretty special day. It was February 4th, 1883, which just so happened to be Sarah's 17th birthday. Can you imagine? A birthday and a wedding all rolled into one. She married 20-year-old John, and it's these little details, the ones you find in old marriage records, that just make history feel so incredibly real. After starting their family there in Missouri, John and Sarah did what so many Americans were doing at the time. They got swept up in that huge, historic current pulling people west. They looked towards the horizon, saw the promise of a new beginning, and headed for Colorado. This was a massive turning point for them, the start of a whole new chapter. And wow, you can really see the impact of that move right here, in their own family tree. Their first two daughters, Cecile and Ida Mae, both born back in Missouri. But then look, their next 6 kids, George, Cora, Luther, Carrie, Rose, and Francis, were all born in Colorado. The family didn't just move west, they became a Western family. Their roots started growing deep into that Colorado soil. But, life isn't just a list of names and dates, right? It's messy. It's complicated. And the records show that the Taylors' time in Colorado was this rich, complex tapestry of real life. You had these moments of incredible pride, woven right alongside moments of deep, unimaginable loss. Let's start with the good news. Back then, small-town newspapers would often publish the school's honor roll. And guess whose names popped up all the time? The Taylor girls. Cora, Cecile, and Ida Mae. These weren't just grades. This was public recognition. This was a sign that the kids were really thriving in their new communities, a real point of pride for the family. But the historical record also holds their sorrows. Infant mortality, it was just a brutal, harsh reality back then. Their first son, born out in Colorado, George, he died as an infant in 1888. And then a decade later, their daughter Rose lived for only 7 days. It's just a heartbreaking reminder that for every moment of public pride, there were these private tragedies they had to somehow get through. So as a new century kicks off, the family picks up and moves again, this time to Wichita, Kansas. They're setting up a new life, starting another chapter. But this one would end with a suddenness that would change the course of the family forever. 50. That's it. That's how old John William Taylor was when he passed away in 1913, just 50 years old. After 30 years of marriage, raising a family, moving across 3 states, his journey was over. And for Sarah, a completely new, totally unexpected journey was just about to begin. For the next 3 decades, really for the next 33 years, the story becomes Sarah's story. She was a widow, yes, but she was also the matriarch, the absolute core of this big, sprawling family. Her life from this point on is just an incredible testament to resilience. Her journey was far from over. And you can literally trace her path after John's death all across the American West. Census records, city directories, they show her living with her children. First, she's in Leadville, Colorado with her daughter Cecile. Then she moves all the way up to Portland, Oregon to live with Ida Mae. And finally, she ends up in Southern California, living first with Carrie and then with Cora. For 33 years, the children she had raised became her home, her support system, right up until her death at the age of 80. So as we kind of wrap things up here, it's worth taking a second to think about how we even know all of this. This story wasn't written down in some book. It was pieced together bit by bit from these simple official documents that just happened to track a family's journey through time. I mean, just think about it. The census forms, they were like a map showing their migration from Missouri to Colorado to Kansas. Those little newspaper clippings about the honor roll, they captured their joys. Obituaries solemnly recorded their deepest sorrows. City directories tracked their addresses year after year. Every single document is like a page from a book. And when you put them all together, you get this remarkable family story. And that really brings us to a final thought, doesn't it? John and Sarah's entire legacy, their story, it was built from a paper trail, from census forms, from newspaper ink, from handwritten records. It kind of makes you wonder, 100 years from now, what kind of story will our endless digital footprints tell about the lives we're all living today?